I've been telling y'all for years that the NAACP is nothing but an extension of the Democrat Party. It's nothing but a boule club and a gatekeeper to keep black people in the Democrat Party. The National Association of the Advancement of black people, of colored people. The Democrats are specialists at words, and when they say words, it is the very opposite of what their titles are. They can come up with more movements than anybody in the world. But whatever they name the movement, know that it is the opposite of what they're saying. Black Lives Matter, it don't matter. Not to them. Because they'll go out and raise money and let your black kids get killed in the black community and buy themselves $1 million homes. Planned Parenthood. It's not about parenthood. It's about taking your child from you and making you parentless. And this national advancement of black people, name something they advance black people in something. Name something. For 100 years, they've been around talking about the advancement of black people, and the only time they come around is when a white Democrat cop kills a black person, and they come around because it's a money bag and it's political, with Al Sharpton. Okay? The advancement of black people. They're Democrats. The national advancement, the national NAACP, the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People, is not that. Recently, they're telling pro athletes that are getting ready to go pro, do not sign NFL contracts with teams in Texas. Watch this. Because of their abortion bill. Now, we haven't heard from the NAACP. We haven't heard from them about these mandates and all this kind of stuff. And that's another thing. They're upset about Texas not obeying the mandates, the mask mandates and the mandates. And we know those are Democrat policies that are also antichrist, trying to bring in the mark of the beast. So for all these years, people have trusted, these black people have trusted in the NAACP or whatever it is. And they have been nothing but harmful and helpful to the Democrats to keep black people there. Now they're telling black men not to accept $1 million contracts, multi-million-dollar contracts, because they want them to get Texas to submit to their Democrat policies. This is insane. It's insane. With all the millions that that association raises, I don't see them doing anything for black people. Anything. I don't see how they've advanced anyone. I don't see where they've advanced anyone black at all. If they were a true association, they would be over there in the grill of that Lightfoot in Chicago, or they'd be in the grill of that woman over there in the mayor in DC, or that Bottoms lady over there in Atlanta. They'd be all in their chest, because crime and murder has gone up while they were in office. Murder and crime of who? Black folks. Black folks. The advancement of black people? Stop it. The Democrats hate black folks, and we can see that. See, this word advancement, the word advancement. Do you think $450,000 could help you advance in this life? Do you think $450,000 or $1 million per person could help a black family in America? Well, they're going to give that to the illegals who committed a crime by coming in this country and was sent back to Mexico to wait until their phony asylum claim was adjusted. And now they're suing the American government because they were traumatized by it. You broke laws here. You broke laws here. And this shouldn't even be anything entertained. But do you see the NAACP out there fighting with the government and upset with the Democrats for even proposing something as ludicrous as this? I mean, come on, black people. There was a black woman who would come on, I think she was on Twitter, trying to say that this story isn't real and that they're only, because this is a Trump policy. You mean to tell me you're for separating families? You're for separating families? If I committed a crime and went to jail, my family wouldn't see me? That's separating families. Are you out there trying to sue and tell the government to pay these black families, lady, for separating their families? But anything the Democrat do, they're taught to obey it and teach the black community to stomach it and swallow it and agree with it. And they'll get out here and fight. People are gonna fight me on this video, watch. Black folks, black and mostly black women. Mostly black women. Because they think that they're the heads of black men. That's what they master taught them. Yeah, they go to church, but I can't say they're good church going, ladies. Some of these women are very angry, vicious, and mean. And I think that the Democrat Party has put a major curse on black women. They think they're blessed. They walk around with t-shirts on talking about blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm a miracle and I'm a miracle waiting. And they become prophetess and pastors and all this kind of stuff. But because they agreed and voted with that Democrat Party, there's a curse over their lives. You agreeing with death, same-sex, perversion, evil, lies, the separation of black families. You know, they did that separation of black families, you know, when they did with the food stamps. They wouldn't let a man be in the home with his family while the black woman received the food stamps. That was a separation policy. And when the black men started
in 1.5 miles, take exit 5 for Glendale Avenue.
I'm on my way to meet some people for some campaign. I'm going to raise some money for my campaign, Jerome for Congress. And when black men started agreeing with Donald Trump, the black women remained on the plantation and began yelling and getting mad at black men. You know? So they use black women. And this is what George Soros is doing, especially nowadays, is getting these black women in these positions of power and using them and their vitriol and hatred for men to go after them. You see? And you make them hate this country and the justice system in this country, and they warp the system. And you'll let a man go out and burn down the city, but yet a man who pulls out a gun and defends his home, he's a criminal. But the man that burned down a city, oh, that was just peaceful. It's peaceful protesting. Nah, it's perverted judgment. And you cannot have a country like that. It's an injustice system. Yeah. The NAACP should be avoided. The Democrat Party should be avoided. Let's reject them. Throw them down. In the book of 2 Kings, I think it's around the 18th chapter, Jehu gets to Jezebel's wall and she starts to paint herself. She puts on her makeup, ties her hair back. When a woman ties her hair back, it's an automatic facelift. She put on the makeup, but behind her were 2 eunuchs. These were men who had been decapitated. Their future was taken from them. The possibility of being a father is taken away, all for the service of Jezebel. Jezebel is the Democrat Party, and the men behind her represent the black community. Their future was taken away, taken from their families, put in jail, all because of the Democrat Party. But Jehu is coming, and Jezebel stood in the window to block their vision so that they couldn't see that deliverance was coming through Jehu. Now, Jehu represents somebody like me, a pastor, a man of God, who's coming against the political Jezebel, who is a religio-political figure who is wicked and evil, and she needs to be cast down. She needs to be thrown down to hell. America has suffered trouble at the hands of the Democrats. Just look at what's going. In less than a year, in 9 months, chaos and crisis after crisis have taken place on purpose by the Democrats. The chaos overseas in Afghanistan, the chaos with finances, the chaos with the gas, the chaos with climbing prices, the chaos with the burning down and looting of cities. They are the trouble that's happening in this world, and they're trying to bring the mark of the beast. And God is raising up somebody like me, a Jehu, who is going to command the eunuchs to throw her down. And when they threw Jezebel down, he went over to the dogs had eaten her body up, and he went over with the horse and trampled her under the horse's hooves. That's the vicious violentness that we need to go after this Democrat Party with. That's the vitriol. That's the anger that we got to have. Are we talking about we got to love everybody? No, we're in war. We're in war for our children. We're in war for our souls. And we're in war for our God. Yeah, I'm loving. I ain't trying to kill nobody. But justice needs to be done. And justice needs to be served. You don't just let wickedness prevail in the name of love. First, when they asked Jesus which was the greatest commandment, he said there's two of them. And they said there's two of them. Which is the greatest? Well, he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart. He said, yeah, we know about that one. He said, you know about loving your neighbor, right? Love as yourself. Yeah. He said, and he said, but the greatest of these is loving the Father first. Love the Father first. And if humanity goes against my love for the Father, well, then I'm going to keep my love for the Father rather than humanity. But what the church has done, and what's been taught the church by the world, is that we got to go after the love of humanity and abandon the love of God, because God's love will never leave us. He'll follow us over here. So we got to go down into degradation. We got to go down into perversion. We got to go and get them and be like them in order to rescue them. So we anger God and forsake loving him for humanity. Don't ever do that. Always love God. Always love God first. The first of these is loving God. Anyway, this video just went so long. I'm sorry. Let me know what y'all think. I'll see you on the next one.